Hello there, employees of Bolinger, Segars, Gilbert, and Moss, and thank you for watching this video. We're here today to talk about open enrollment and for your benefits, your health, your dental, and go through that. There is a small increase this year, a little over 4%, which we were really pleased with actually, since the norm is in the high single digits and low teens for most groups. So anyway, we just want to talk about benefits. It is that time of year. If you want to add dependents to your plan, you can do that. If you want to drop dependents, of course, you can do that for Section 125 purposes. So if you've never enrolled yourself for whatever reason, you can get on the plan effective 12/1. No questions asked. Pre-existing conditions are covered immediately for everybody, for everything. So that's really important to know. The good news is we're not changing anything on the health or the dental. You are on what we call a grandmothered health plan, just meaning that the plan that you have was bought after President Obama signed the law on March 23rd, 2010, but it was bought before the law actually went into effect on January 1 of 2014. In that little space of 3 years or so, those are called grandmothered health plans, and employers that have those plans get to keep them, but they can't change anything. So we can't tweak one thing about your plan. But when we look at the rate that you have with Blue Cross, and then we come over and look at what that rate would be on an ACA plan, ACA standing for the Affordable Care Act, there's about $10,000 a month difference just for y'all's group. So it's one of those, it's a no-brainer. You're going to take it, you know. So anyway, all of you should have a packet that looks like this that was sent to you electronically. You don't actually have the packet in your hand like I do. So on top is an open enrollment letter telling you if you need more information to contact Marcia or Shannon. And so we trust you will do that. But all of you, I think, know, and most of you do know me, that if you have any questions, you're certainly welcome to call here at the office, visit with me or visit with Ashley. Office number 783-8959. We'll get some pins by there so that you guys can have our phone number, as we always do. Part of your electronic packet, there's the 2 summaries of benefits of coverage, SBC, and one of them is for the $2,000 deductible. Many of you are on this plan. And then we have as a second choice a $5,000 deductible. So some of you that carry your dependents have elected maybe to go over to that higher deductible just because that gets the cost down for your family to where it's more affordable. Again, the plans are not changing. The $2,000 deductible, which is the most popular, has a $3,000 co-insurance maximum. So when you put the deductible with the 3, you could be out of pocket $5,000. You've got $25 office visit copay when you go to see the doctor. That applies to a specialist as well. Preventive care is no charge. As long as that claim is filed as preventive care, you shouldn't be charged anything for it. So diagnostic tests that go with a lab and x-ray, you don't pay additional for. So if you go in, they do some lab work, come in and tell you, yeah, you've got strep throat, and maybe they give you an injection, you pay your copay, you walk out the door. All of the new plans with the Affordable Care Act, with Blue Cross, all that lab work applies to your deductible. It's not covered under that copay. So your benefits are a little richer there. So just going right on down, I'm just going to jump over this quickly because it's not changing. You've prescription card, $15, $40, $55, depending on whether it's generic, preferred brand name, or non-preferred brand name. In today's world, all of the groups we're selling have a 6-tier prescription card. Y'all have a 3-tier, 3 different tiers of copay. In the new world, $250 is that 6th tier, where y'all's 3rd is $55. So again, your benefits on prescriptions are so good, and I hope you enjoy that. I know it's still $55, but compared to what we're actually selling today on most plans, it's very good. If you didn't elect the $2,000 deductible, you had the choice of the $5,000 deductible, Those that are on that, I think all of them carry their dependents, some form or fashion of that. Could be children, could be spouse, could be full family. So your employer continues to pay all the cost for you up to $475. Our renewal rate's like $471. So you don't pay anything if it's just you. So certainly for those not carrying dependents, then you're signed up on the $2,000. For those that are carrying dependents, some do go the $5,000. On that $5,000, it's got a $5,000 out of pocket. So you put the two together, you could be out of pocket $10,000. And then your office visit copay is $40 on that plan instead of $25. In those old plans back then, that $40 does not track over toward that $10,000 out of pocket, nor do your prescription copays, where under the Affordable Care Act, everything tracks toward your out of pocket maximum. The drugs on that plan are 20, 40, 60. It's still a 3-tier drug plan instead of a 6. So hopefully you'll enjoy that because those are relatively low copays. Of course, on both plans, if you get a generic drug and the actual cost is less than the copay, they should only bill you or charge you for the actual cost of that. I know for me, I get a generic blood pressure pill. It's like $2.78 for a 90-day supply. So it's almost free. So if that were you, you should only pay the $2.78. They shouldn't charge you the $20 that you have on that plan or the $15 that you have on the other plan. Okay? So hopefully that'll help. We're going to keep it simple. Those are the two plans. If you want to migrate between the plans, you can. It's just that everybody on your family migrates with you. All right? Behind that online, you've got an MD Live. This is telemedicine. It's really caught on big time with all of the COVID things that have happened. So you can talk to a doctor online, just like we've actually had this for a couple years. You do pay a copay for that office visit when you call them, regardless of whether or not they're able to help you or not. If you talk to a doctor, they're going to charge you that copay. Please use this. Stay out of the emergency room. We continue to see a number of people go to the emergency room when they've got, the flu is a really common one. Try to use one of those clinics that's open on weekends here in Lubbock and be smart about it, because the average cost for a visit to the ER, the allowed amount is in that $1,100 range. That's going to apply to your deductible. So don't beat yourself up. Call a doctor online. A little advice, go ahead if you haven't. Go to MD Live. The instructions are on the form, how to get there, and go ahead and register and answer all the questions. They're just like any doctor. They want you to answer health questions. Tell them your surgery history, the medications you take, anything you're allergic to. If you'll do that today while you're healthy, and then you call at 3 a.m. and you're sick and you really don't feel good, you're going to have to spend about 10 minutes filling out that information, just like you would at a doctor's office when they slip that clipboard through the window at you. Go ahead and do it today. And then when you do call, they'll ask you, hey, or they'll see it actually that you've already completed. They'll ask you, has anything changed? If it hasn't, and you say no, then boom, goes right in. They screen the call. They tell you that they think a doctor will be able to help, and then a doctor will call you back, usually in minutes. Okay, we've had a few little hiccups with that back in March when the whole thing started with COVID. They had so many calls, they found out that they had a limitation on their system that would only store so many phone calls, and then they were pushing phone calls out the back door, but they'd never had that many phone calls before. So telemedicine providers learned some things, but use MD Live. That will save you the trip to the doctor, waiting in line, and you can do it from home. And you can do it from anywhere, anytime, from anywhere, any day. Okay, so you're on vacation, on the beach in Florida, you got a sinus infection, call MD Live. Okay, Christmas holidays, you're off work, you're visiting family somewhere away, you call MD Live. Okay, so do that. Nurse line, this is another thing that you've got a benefit for. You can call and talk to a nurse, again, anytime, any day. It doesn't cost you a dime. They can't prescribe medication, but you could just say, hey, Playing softball this weekend, twisted my ankle. It's all swollen up. Should I put heat? Should I put ice? You know, those things have changed over the years. In the olden days when I was young, it was heat. Now it's ice. And then sometimes it's alternate ice and heat. So call Nurseline, use that. If you've got kids, it's good. You know, little Johnny's got 102.5. How high should it get before I give the kid put them in a tepid bath and try to get that temperature down? If you don't know as a parent exactly what to do, use this Nurseline. I wished I had that when my kids were little. Right behind that are the rates you'll see for the plans. So that'll help you in making your decisions and what your employer is paying. So keep in mind that $471.78 is what is being paid for you. That's tax-free. So keep in mind, if you decide you want to go out on your own, you need to go make about $7,000 to replace that, because that $7,000 is going to be taxed. Here's an enrollment form. You will not need this if you're not changing anything. Okay, most of you will be able to make a paper airplane with it, or actually you're not even going to print it off. But if you do need to change something, change your name, change your address, whatever, use this form. Or if you're going to enroll for the first time. Pardon me. Right behind that are all the notices that we usually put. COBRA notice, your HIPAA notice, your health insurance exchange notice, notice for patient protection, women's health and cancer rights. All of these are notices that the employer is required to provide you. Nothing in there that says that they have to sit down and talk to you about it, read it to you. You don't have to sign anything, but again, all the way back to privacy notice on the very back. So there are your notices, just so that we keep Marcia and Shannon out of jail. And so hopefully you will have those there. If you have any questions, call us. Pardon me, a little tickle in the throat today. Right behind that's the voluntary dental. Again, no change in our rates, which we were tickled about that. That is pretty much kind of the norm because of COVID. Certainly some health things got postponed. A voluntary surgery many times has been delayed. It's going to happen at some point, but it's not happened yet. Same thing with dental. A lot of dental offices were just closed there for several months, and only emergencies being seen. So the dental carriers' claims they paid are down. So virtually every dental carrier we work has been holding the line on their rates. Their fear is, what's it going to look like once we get past COVID? And same thing with the health insurance companies. And then everybody goes to get their knee fixed or that crown put on, whatever. And then we'll see what claims look like next year. But for today, the dental plan that you have is not changing with Principal, staying exactly the same. Costs are staying exactly the same. Principal does have open enrollment, and that's good. Not every carrier does. So if you're not on the dental plan and you want to get on the dental plan, you can do that. No questions asked. There's an enrollment form there in the packet for you online. The rates are in there also. So if you want to add dependents, drop dependents, all of that is there. So we are thrilled about that. And then also some of the things every year we talk about this that you don't think about. You've got those benefits you don't pay for, you don't think about it. So you're provided life insurance by being an employee there at Bolinger, Segars, Gilbert, Moss. You've got one time your annual salary rounded up to the next 1,000 plus 15,000. Okay, so at one point, those were two separate benefits, two separate carriers. We had 15,000 over here, and we had one-time salary over to this. We merged the two of them together like 2 years ago. So now it's one-time salary plus 15, and they round that up. So if you made 37,500, they're going to round it up to 38,000. Then they're going to add another 15 to that. Okay, that includes accidental death and dismemberment. So if you buy accident, it's going to pay double that amount. If you need to update your beneficiary, do that. Don't forget, if you've got a new significant other in your life, or maybe you just decide that you love somebody more than you love that last one, then you can go change your beneficiary. So contact Marcia or Shannon about that, because they've got a form for that at One America is who we've got the life insurance with. Also, we've got Disability that you don't think about with Unum. Again, that's paid for you. As an employee, you don't pay a dime for either the life insurance or the disability. And then on the disability, again, it pays 60% of your salary up to a maximum of $6,000 monthly benefit. And it's got a 90-day elimination period on it. So once you've been disabled, unable to work for 90 days, then it comes in and it picks up that 60% of your salary. Again, $6,000 a month maximum benefit. That's a great thing. You don't see many claims, but when you do, they can be huge. Okay, somebody's had a car wreck, they broke their neck, they're paraplegic, quadriplegic, never work again. This is going to pay benefits all the way up to Social Security age, actually, so that's good. Just thinking back on the life insurance, one thing I did not mention is that you've also got, in addition to that 1 times your salary plus 15, you've got $50,000 worth of accidental death coverage in addition to that. So because y'all travel so much, that's something that was put on, for the employees many years ago, because you're out traveling. If you were to have a car accident or something going between audits, then you've got an additional $50,000 worth of just accidental death. So if that happened to you, your family, your beneficiaries would get the 15 plus 1 time salary plus the 50. Okay. So as y'all go through that, if you have questions, we trust that you will call us. I know Marcia and them are going to get this out to you pretty quickly. I'll work with Marcia. There'll be a day that I bring by the normal goodies that we bring by, even though I won't be there in person this year. We're certainly here to answer questions, but we don't want to not provide you with those goodies. So I'll work with Marcia so that you've got some kolaches and donuts there, and then we'll just pretend that's the day everybody's going to do this, even though you really don't have to. So call us here, 783-8959, 783-8959. If I'm not available, ask for Ashley. All right? We appreciate it, and thank you very much. Y'all have a good week.